This is the NFL on EA Sports. Today's matchup features one of the more dangerous pass rushes. The Seahawks lead the league in sacks, and they'll be up against a Falcons team that will need to try and keep that pass rush off balance.
Trip to the Northwest is really complete without a little rain, and we're going to get plenty of it here at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the Atlanta Falcons. Season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This will be taken to the back of the end zone, and no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They'll be led out by the reigning MVP of the National Football League in his 10th season now is Matt Ryan.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
They go play action here on first down. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
For the first time with Devontae Freeman. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down. Here now the offensive starters for Atlanta.
It's real easy to express how much you love about Julio Jones' game because when you watch him perform, you see a little bit of everything. You see speed, you see strength, you see the power with the run after catch. But what you don't see is the work he puts in during the week, and you also don't see this. A #1 receiver, one of the best in the league, that doesn't act like a diva.
And this is going to be incomplete.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
Matt Bosher, 7th-year man from Miami, on to punt. Back deep for the Seahawks, the All-Pro returner from 2015, Tyler Lockett. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Now it's Lockett. Fancy footwork at the 45.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And he is out of bounds, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. He got 29 yards that time.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him, I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. Red zone opportunity. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away at second down.
A missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off a drive. They had a chance there to finish things off. Didn't get it done. I guess that's why a lot of those guys do not play offense.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He almost had it. The big D lineman nearly had an interception. Instead, it falls down incomplete.
I know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost. And now there could be a letdown because it didn't.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Luke Wilson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Footing likely going to be an issue all night here on a rainy night, but this one is good. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Now a play fake here on first down. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be second down. The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
Michael Bennett may have missed 5 games in 2016, but still led his team in tackles for loss with 14.
And how does his pass rush help the secondary? Because I know it does.
Oh, it helps it in a big way because now the quarterback who has a clock in his head, that clock has to accelerate because they always think Michael Bennett is coming. That means you don't have to cover him for very long.
Now Ryan on second down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
This is Freeman on first and 10. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked number 1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
From the gun on 3rd down, Ryan. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll run here with Freeman. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Partner, when it's a goal-to-go situation, if you're on the field on defense, you have to know that you may be called on to make a tackle at any time. Here, the cornerback does exactly that. Plays the run really well and makes a big play.
Again, it'll be Freeman. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here, not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
And before they can run another play, the clock hits triple zeros. And time is up on the 1st quarter. 7-0 is our score. We'll be back to Seattle right after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. This will be play number 8 on the drive. It's 3rd and goal. From the gun, it's Ryan. He goes underneath to Freeman. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Tyler Lockett now with a return. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Now here's the Falcons defense getting set to go again. See if they can regroup a little bit. They gave up the touchdown last drive.
And you know from our meetings with coaches all across the league, one of their pet peeves, when teams get down, a lot of these guys now, they want to treat it like it's a video game or something. Hit reset. Let's start over, coach. Now the first 2 series, they don't even matter now. Let's play again. That's not how it works. You're down. You gave up a touchdown. You can't do it again. You have to dig in, grit it out, and
this will be caught at the 30. It's a big play there for Seattle. 43 yards.
Really good recognition of the offensive line of the blitz. They picked it up, allowed for more time to throw the ball deep downfield, and a big-time completion.
First down, he'll drop to throw it. He'll rifle this one deep. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Thomas rolls. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Well, he wasn't the guy they were initially going for, but after going through the progressions, it worked.
When you have plenty of people who can catch the football, you don't always have to go to your primary target, and sometimes that target is actually covered. Nice job coming off of that and getting it to someone who was open.
And the man out of the backfield gets in for the score. And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Extra point try now for Walsh. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy two-play drive that time. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And time now for the Seahawks defense to take their spots again on the field. And in a tight ball game like this, the defense looking for a stop. You kind of, whether you're the offense or the defense, you don't want to be the one to screw this thing up.
No, not at all. And right now, you've got to figure that the offense is thinking to themselves, if you just get us the ball, we'll make things happen for you. Just help us out a little bit. And that's what the defense has to have in mind as they trot out here for this series.
Yeah, right now the offense on the sideline. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. But the Falcons were able to recover, so they will keep possession.
Plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They run. Devontae Freeman. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent game. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference. Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. Now it brings up 3rd down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
They're going to look to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. I don't know. He had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
On the mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll try and throw for it here. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. And, partner, I'm not really sure what in the world they were thinking on 4th and long there at this stage in the game, but you think social media may be firing up a little bit right now?
Oh, the coach is trending right now. There's no doubt about it. People are wondering what that decision was. But it takes me back to a number of years ago. A very successful coach in the league had told himself before a playoff game he was going to be aggressive. No matter what, he's going to be aggressive. And it ran his team into some real problems early, and they got upset in that playoff game. Let's see if this team can recover.
Well, that's aggressive in capital letters with glitter, 7 underscore. I mean, that's the definition of aggressive.
Yeah, you can almost hear the cheerleaders doing the be aggressive chant behind him, and he listened to it.
Calling no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Ryan. Incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time, and it's 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
On 3rd and goal, Ryan. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. The 40, 20, 10. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Second time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
Walsh now for the PAT. It's good, and it is now 21-7. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Andre Roberts now to return it. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And back onto the field now comes Devontae Freeman. He's just been looking for some space. You know, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the
rush coming, and he's He's taken down. Cliff Averill in there for sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Second down, Ryan. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number one. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
On third down, Devontae Freeman. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on fourth down.
But once again, a good example of situational football. That was third and very long, so you know they were guarding against the pass. And when they decided to run the ball, that was okay. Whatever yardage they picked up, as long as they didn't get to the first down marker, the defense was willing to concede, and they stopped them well short of a first down.
Returnable for Lockett. Avoids him at the 40. Still staying on his feet. Are you serious? It looked like he might beat that last man. He doesn't, though, but it goes as a 32-yard return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll throw now on the final play. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Ricardo Allen with a pick, and they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. And never mind, Larry, these two teams apparently anxious to get back at it. On the return, the All-Pro 2 years ago, Tyler Lockett. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. Big sack on second down. Now the offense needs to convert here on third. Back to throw. He's got Curse. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one goes for 24 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up the first down.
Out to the right here to Wilson. And he is out of bounds, just a yard or two shy of the 30. 10 now for the offensive group.
Now let's go. Blue landing. Blue landing.
The drop to throw. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Courtney Upshaw forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards.
Partner, I know the ball security is preached like crazy, but every now and then you've got to know when to get rid of the football and save a little bit of yardage if you're a quarterback.
Because now if you're the offensive coordinator, what does it do if it was 3rd and 10 versus 3rd and much longer as it is now?
Yeah, it changes everything in terms of play calling and the pressure you might expect to face on the very next down. Had to throw the ball away and save the yardage. He didn't get it done. My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
They'll set up to throw. And he's got his man. It's Darbo. Touchdown, Seattle.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Extra point try now for Walsh. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. So we get set to start this 3rd quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
It's caught. Jones. A phrase we said a lot last year. Ryan to Jones for a Falcon 1st down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And, oh, a good hit there and knocked down hard at the 36. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're trying to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play. But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. From the shotgun, Ryan connects with Sanu right side. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded at the 20. Able to slither by. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. And heading back out there now, the Falcons defense here. Their secondary, their whole defensive unit really struggling. They've given up 3 touchdown passes. That last drive was dominant through the air against them.
They found something that was working for them on offense, and they just kept going to it, just kept throwing the football. So that means an entire overhaul on the defensive side. They need more pressure on the quarterback and obviously need tighter coverage on the receivers.
See if they can get that tighter coverage. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down.
I think it's pretty safe to say that when you're up 3 touchdowns, the last thing you want to do is hang one up there and put it in jeopardy and possibly get it intercepted. Got a nice lead. You should be able to protect it. If you get careless with the football, look out.
And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. A really good pickup of 28 yards. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
They'll look to throw, and that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however, and let's see what that's about.
Defense.
Well, you won't hear any boos from this home crowd on that call.
No, not at all, and it's been a long day for this crowd.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way, so he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it.
There's Baldwin. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown.
Review. After review, the play,
Walsh now for the PAT. And oh my goodness, this is nowhere close. Well to the right and no good. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. And that's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now Ryan on first down. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And, he is really laid out that time. Knocked flat on his back. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, two hands. Get two hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Tyler Lockett, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks are running away with this one. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? 2nd and 10. It's Ryan again. The left side completion to Jones. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
That throw has to be a quarterback's dream, doesn't it? Big tight end, curling in the middle of the field, so it's great sight lines for him. And when they show their numbers back to the quarterback, when they sit down right there, that should be pitch and catch.
And his throw here's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Ryan will throw again. And that is incomplete.
Well, partner, so much for the mismatch. How about the guy at the second level, that big linebacker, able to run with the receiver and make a play on the football?
Here's Matt Bosher now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Time for a break. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. That one looks like he'll throw here. And it's hauled in by Nick Vanette. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
All right, say it with me now. There are a lot of different words we come up with. Maybe we go back and forth after that play, getting his toes tapped down to make that catch. Crafty?
Yep. Wiley?
Oh, definitely.
All the veteran names?
You name it. Has every move in the book and continued to get better throughout his career so he can make that type of a catch.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Let's go. Blue line.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Runs through the contact. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Now he'll look to throw here on second and 10. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver. Third down here.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football, because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And he's brought down, but following a pretty juke move that gives him a first down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
looking to throw. And incomplete. Probably should have had that one, but with the game he's having tonight, maybe they'll let it go.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
The age-old argument. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And the return won't go anywhere. They'll be back deep in their own territory at the 2-yard line. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now.
And now he's going to go down in the end zone. Down goes Matt Ryan, and that's a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
And an alley to run. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Let's go. Green.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Here we go now. Green.
They'll look to throw here. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys
I'm a
who's
little
skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Get your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Seahawks, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.